Well, I'm back. I'm kind of back. As I said, Adriano Sorello had a big party. I thought I'd drop by the party. What a setup. All the food and stuff to drink you'd ever want. Lots of stuff for the kids. It's a great time here. When Adriano sets his mind to it, he can accomplish a lot. So, beautiful party here. I thought I'd finish up. I snuck away from the party, but I got something to eat. Thought I'd sneak away. I talked about a little bit what went on this week. I want to say I'm back. I'm not back. I'm feeling better. Um, Qualified some horses. I'm going to qualify a couple more on Tuesday. School one on Wednesday. And if I get cleared to, and if I feel like it, I'm going to go to. If I feel like I'm up to it, I'm going to go to Ohio and race Osopine on Friday. It's not so much that I'm worried about me. I'm sure I'll be just fine. I want to make sure that I'm helping the people. If I'm sitting in the race bike just to say I'm sitting in the race bike, that's not helping anybody. If I'm in the race bike, I want to be in the race bike because it's helpful. So here's the thing. I won't know if I'm gonna go drive Osopine until the first part of the week. As we say it right now, this is Sunday. Yes, I'm going there next Friday. I just jogged really blue chip at the farm. Trained a couple of horses this weekend. I'm gonna try and qualify. If I can drive just a tad on Tuesday, I'm sure I'll be all right with Osopine. Just a tad can pull pretty good. That's the thing, is that I don't know how much gas is in the old tank for the hand. And that's the problem, is if you're pulling on a horse and your hand just, that's it. It starts to open. And then you're in trouble. And I don't want to get myself or anybody else in any trouble. Certainly don't want to get the horse in any trouble. And first and foremost, it has to be to the benefit of our clients that I'm driving the horse. So as I sit here in my car, yes, I'll be driving Osopine on Friday, but a few things have to take place before that's 100% for sure. So we talked about that. We talked about White Tiger breaking his hobbles. Yes, race good. West 52nd race good. Maintenance Man actually won a race. Good for him. Libero Hanover's racing tonight. A ton of horses qualified. And the thing that really caught my eye, 13 2-year-olds eligible to Ohio this year in our barn. All 13 are qualified right now, and all of them look pretty good. When you look at, Crazy Mission, Bend Over, a couple of those horses, Overdue Mission, will they start in the top echelon of the Sire Stakes program? Maybe not. That doesn't mean they can't be effective and do some good for us. When you look at other horses that have qualified already that look tremendous, spend that money. Compass Rose DC, Yours If You Want It, Rose Run Valiant, Globe Trotting, Excellent Nation looked good. Even Susie K looked good. We're going to have a strong contingency in Ohio, which is great because I thought that our horses just kind of looked okay heading into Ohio. If you had asked me back in March, I'd be like, okay, we get some power now. And I'm really happy about that. A lot of horses we can talk about. You know what? I'm going to give you a top 10 list. And I always hated doing this, but call a spade a spade. Now, there's no Ontario breds on here. Oh, there is one Ontario bred on here. There's not, there's only one Ontario bred on here because we haven't qualified any yet. Yeah, we schooled some, and, there's a lot of work to be done with those horses yet. So I'm going to give you my top 10 list right now in real time, June 16th, 2019, with 2 weeks before the Sire Stakes program starts. Number one, be unfair not to put Knockdown Drag right squarely on the top of the list. It was funny. I told a couple of our clients, I tell everybody, there was an agent come to the barn yesterday for an owner in Sweden asking to buy Knockdown Dragout. They didn't say a number, and I told them I don't own any of Knockdown Dragout, and rules being rules, 90% of the ownership would have to agree to sell. 40% are standing over there when he was there, and they're not too keen on selling. So if you want to leave an offer and you're serious about it, then leave a serious offer, because those gentlemen over there are not really interested in selling Knockdown Dragout. So it wasn't really worth mentioning in the fact that I highly doubt it will take place, but there was somebody, not shockingly, but there was somebody inquiring about buying her. Spend that money, number two. Filly looked awesome. Knockdown Dragout looked good. This filly looked every bit as good. Didn't go as fast and hasn't been as good all year, so she's not number one. But I thought she looked as good as any horse we've qualified in quite some time. This stretching back to obviously White Tiger and Osopine last year, and West 52nd won his qualifier. All those horses looked okay. Spend that money, looks like a professional. and she looked very, very good last week. Really impressed with her. Arctic Force, number 3. Few horses looked as good as him now. The horse driving into number 5 went a bigger last half, but didn't look as fast as him. But Arctic Force. Now, having said that, Brushcut's not in the top 10 list, only because he was 6th in his qualifier, 5th or something. But he's got the rail in Yonkers on Thursday, and Arctic Force has the 7-hole. So 7-hole in Yonkers, that's a widowmaker. That's a tough one. So I don't know what's going to take place there, but we got our first 2-year-old racing tonight with Libero Hanover. Our first stake races are Thursday night at Yonkers. The rail for Brushcut, 7-hole for Arctic Force, and then shortly after there, we'll have Monticello with Bottle of Red. Actually, that's not true. Tonight, we also have Olympic Hopeful, her first start in Illinois. So that's number 3 is Arctic Force. Pretty fair there, I think. Horse that really caught my eye the other day, and it reaffirmed what I've said about her always, is Globetrotting. She didn't go as fast as they did the week before, but the weather and the track was just not permitting of a fast mile Friday morning, and Globetrotting went a mile and 2.3, but looked real good doing it. She's a nice filly, legit filly, and the only thing that hasn't pushed her into contention for number 2 is Spend That Money. It's just the speed. She couldn't have made any more speed the other day. It's just the way it was. Number 5, I'll Play It Alone. I'll Play It Alone paced his last half, as I was corrected. Thank you. 54-3 the other day, not 54-4. And I'll Play It Alone, legit horse. We're going to enter some horses on Thursday night. They have some 2-year-old races written. We are planning on entering Beach Boutique. We are planning on entering I'll Play It Alone. And we are planning on entering some trotters. I would say Knockdown Dragout, Sebastian Yu, Spend That Money possibly. So, anyway, we'll move on. Number 5, I'll Play It Alone. Number 6, Rose Run Valiant. I'm waiting a long time to say this horse's name in the top 10. I told you that mile and 2.2 was a mile and 58. There was a vicious headwind. He come 31 seconds, but the headwind and the track and the weather, that was a big mile the other day. And Rose Run Valiant, I told you when I got back, Rose Run Valiant was going to be going down the road, and wake him up, shake the last little bit of rust off him. Watch how good this horse is his next 2 times. Whether his next start's a stake race or not, this horse is dialed in now and he's ready to rock. And Rose Run Valiant looked very, very good on Friday. Yours, if you want it, looked great also. James was very tentative with him, wanted to make sure he get qualified. This horse is a bit of a schizo. He's definitely got a screw loose in his head, but probably one of the fastest horses we have in the barn right now. Very, very quick colt, durable, never gets tired, much like Sebastian Yu, except Yours, if you wanted. There's a lot of voices in his head, and as long as we can hear, keep the positive ones and the good ones and the intelligent ones, their voice is louder than the other ones, we'll have a good summer with this guy. But a little bit crazy, but he's very, very fast. Sebastian Yu, very durable colt. I haven't yet to see this colt tired. I'd like to see him race Thursday night at Mohawk. Louis-Philippe Wall will probably drive him. He loves him. He's gone with him. No reason to change that. Now our first Ontario bred of the year to jump onto the top 10 list legitimately. I guess Miss Brampton Beast did, and that's fair. I'll talk about her in a little while too. She was a little flat the other day schooling. We know why now. Not a big deal. Should be fixed actually as we speak. But a horse that looked completely dominant the other day. Little need your opinion. How good is this filly? Wow. Mile and 58 wrapped up. I said to Jonathan Drury going on the track, she's not that big. I said, this is one of our nicest horses. And he's like, oh, yeah. I come in and I said, she okay? He said, oh, she can fly. She's a nice filly. She obliterated her training set. Now, we had dropped most of these horses into kind of neutral and idle for a few weeks. I think Kevin might have cheated a bit. Kevin might have been training them a little harder than we were, because this filly looked like she was ready to rock the other day. And Need Your Opinion looked awesome. Now I'm going to throw you a curveball. Number 10 on the list is a horse that isn't qualified. Number 10 on the list is a horse that made breaks. Number 10 on the list is a horse that has been extremely frustrating all year. But make no mistake, one of our most powerful horses in the barn. I'm going to try and go with her next Friday and see if we can't get her qualified. You may know who I'm talking about. If not, I'm going to tell you. Spirit of Dio. Spirit of Dio is a workhorse. Very powerful filly. She wears her hobbles incredibly tight. And even I thought her hobbles looked good going to the gate the other day with Jody. And she still rolled off behind the gate. So a little disappointed in Spirit of Dio. But at the same time, as soon as she decides that it's time to go, I think she'll look very good. I would suspect that she'll probably decide that Friday at around 9:30 when I come off the track after our last trip. She's going to be going. We'd love to have this filly qualified. She's got stake races in New Jersey coming up, and she is actually ready to go as soon as she gets her game together. You saw how dominant she looked in her schooler 3 weeks ago, and then made a break the other day, and then 2 weeks ago in the qualifier, and then made a break the other day for no apparent reason. We'll see how she makes out this Friday morning. That's a top 10 list, and look at all the horses that didn't make this list. We're very fortunate. Like last year and the year before, we had talent, but not such a wide array this year. I mean, we have all of our horses in Ohio, all of our horses in Indiana, most all of our horses in New York and New Jersey and Pennsylvania qualified, just Ontario to go, and a few stragglers. I think we have, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 65 babies. 60 or 61 of them will be qualified by July 1st. You know, you look at the top 10 list. Who didn't make the top 10 list? Havana Unana, Jailhouse Master qualified good. Brush Cut, Bottle of Red, Really Blue Chip, Ailsun. Ailsun was awesome the other day. She could have made this list. She was very good. Compass Rose DC, this is a filly that Louis Philippois is certain is one of the best ones we have. Hope she is. She didn't make the list. Emerald Miss won her qualifier and didn't make the list. Excellent Nation qualified in 58. He didn't make it. Susie K qualified in 2-2, looked good. She didn't make it. Canadian Titan looked good schooling, as did Enduring Strength. Fox Valley Shazam, Frontier Cruise, Miss Brampton Beast, Trafalgar, Timel Dazzle, and Wiggle Delight all looked good schooling the other day. They didn't make the list either. So, we got Libero Hanover racing tonight. I'm going to watch him go tonight. I hope he does well. I heard that the filly Sunshine Inn, it looks on her line like she made a break leaving the gate. Finished 4th, paced 2 minutes at Clinton. She'll be back to the claiming ranks this coming Friday. Lots still to happen. Definitely a lot for me. I'm going to test old Lefty here out Tuesday morning with Just a Tad and Delcrest Star Angel. And then Wednesday, I think I'm going to school maybe Really Blue Chip at Grand River. Now, she was Friday back Wednesday, but I want to get her on the half because her first start's in Buffalo. So a couple might go up to Grand River on Wednesday and a couple might school on Tuesday. A lot of you guys are asking me, when are they going to race? As soon as we can get them in. And if they're not ready to race, we're going to school them and send them directly to their jurisdiction. We will have some horses heading to Ohio this week. We will have some horses heading to Pennsylvania undoubtedly this week. Who they are, when they leave, I don't know yet. And I will keep you guys updated. But for now, you got your opening, you got your top 10 list. I'm going to be back in a second with all the babies, all the racehorses. Get you underway. Talk to you soon.